Rage Nation, Kimber Schaefer here with Rage in the Cage, Oklahoma, and I am so excited as always for Rage in the Cage 92. It's coming your way Saturday, March 4th, and it's always a good time to rage it up when you got Lamont KO King Stafford. You know, I have known you since you were the KO kid, so sometimes I kind of like struggle with
it's a little grown.
the king. So it is a little grown. So I struggle with like wanting to go back to the KO kid. So I am so proud of you. You've really come such a long way. I've gone back to like maybe 2011 with you when we did our first interview. So it's been a bunch of years, and so I've definitely seen you at the lows and the highs of your career. And one of the lows of your career was literally, we'll be shy of 1 day. You're gonna fight March 4th, Rage in the 92. It was March 5th of 2022 that you lost the belt to Will Dickey. And you had literally defended that belt successfully more times really than...
I'd say 6 or 7 times, I'm not for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to look back at that and get the history, but you had defended it. You were injured, but you didn't want to let your sponsors down. You probably should have backed out of that fight.
Yeah, the people close to me knew I was hurt. I didn't want it to get out.
We didn't know that, of course.
Whenever I'm hurt, like the word travels, so I just was trying to keep it in the camp. I didn't really want everybody to know. It wasn't everybody's business. I was going to fight anyway.
Yeah. And it didn't go your way. Why? Kind of walk me through that. What happened?
He was a lot stronger than what I planned on him being. I watch his fights, but you can't really just watch somebody's fights and judge him off that. He was just a lot stronger. Like after I fought Tommy, I broke my hand, and I ain't been lifting weights back then. I was just weak. Once I started back lifting weights and seeing how weak I was like, I just gave him the belt.
But you learned from it. And you made huge steps since then. So tell me what steps you've taken.
I've been in the gym, Python's martial arts. Ladies and gentlemen, come check us out. But I just been in the gym, man, working with these guys. Diego and them are killers, man, and they just tighten me up where I'm weak. And like anything that I need help with, and that's why I love the gym. Like I'm good at taking people's back, and then I'll get your back and I'll go blank. And I was telling Diego and that, and that's what they just put the focus on, show me a lot of different stuff. Like, they just make me stronger where I'm weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you had won several of your fights by, your jiu-jitsu, but you just hadn't been able to really put it all together till now.
I just don't really care to go to the ground if I don't got to. It's a fight. People come to see. I see you come from the shoulder.
I mean, you are the KO King, so they do come to see that.
I don't try to live up to my name, but once you get a reputation, people don't want to stand up and fight with you, so just got to be ready for anything, really, at this level that I'm at.
Yeah, and it's the truth, and if you want to make it to the next stage, of course, and like you said, everybody wants to take Lamont to the ground and submit you, but you losing to Will Dickey, I think that was a knockout. Was that your first time you'd ever been knocked out?
Left stoppage. Yeah, no, Tony Lopez.
That's right, that's right. So only your second time in your career, and you've had a long career, so.
Amateur and pro, yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant amount of fights to, people not being able to finish you like that. So, I mean, we've seen exciting moments. I think you've got 2 of the fastest knockouts in Oklahoma history, both on Rage in the Cage cards. So we've definitely got a great history with you, great footage of your fights and things. And then the guys behind the camera, we can give them some ammunition here so they know where to go with this interview and be able to find some stuff. But I remember some of the most exciting fights, Fire Lake Arena, where you fought the guy that had the fastest knockout in Oklahoma history at that time, David Knight. Yeah. And I think you finished him in was it under 30 seconds, I think.
Like 7
seconds, yeah. And I think the previous record might have been 9 or something. You really finished him before that.
I think he had the record I didn't beat his record.
I think he was 7. I think he was 7 and this was 9, I think. But regardless, we can look at that.
I think y'all cheated me on my time.
Well, I do think that, I think it was just because the ref was backing you off or something.
My problem is once I knock him down, I gotta leave him alone. I just be trying to finish up strong. Because anytime anybody's ever beat me, had me in an arm bar or something, and I tap, they keep cranking on my stuff. So they make the ref get in there, so I make the ref get in there.
Makes sense. I get it. And so I think that's why the time got whoever the timekeeper was for that event. I think it was Citizen Potawatomi Nation at that time. Maybe your time was off. What are some other highlights in your career that you can recall?
Every fight's a highlight that I win. Like, I don't really care how it come.
All right, so this one is King versus the KO King. So this is not the first time you guys have fought, though. But as you told me, this is the first time you have ever had anybody even ask for a rematch for you. So you've never actually fought somebody twice before. That was interesting. I didn't realize that.
No, I haven't.
So the first time you guys fought, it was a first round, I believe, 42nd knockout for you. You won that fight. Walk us through that.
I'm not for sure. I think it was like a minute and 20 or a minute 30 seconds. But yeah, it was the first round finish. He was a purple belt then. He's a black belt now, so I don't really see too much changing. I figure he'll try to come out and get the fight to the ground. Or if he stand up, that's where I want it to be. I don't really care. I'm here for whatever. I don't feel like he's a true black belt. So however it go, I'm ready for it. If we go to the ground, we can go to the ground. Stand up and bang, we can do whatever.
And he's a kickboxer, so he said really.
Everybody's a kickboxer till they fight a real striker. We'll see what he is. I'm out for blood.
And I love your confidence. You have to go in with that confidence. And it's hard for you to fight somebody that you do like.
I try not to make friends in my weight class, really.
That's probably.
It's hard to fight somebody like you haven't pinned down, beating them, and the fight will clearly be over. Like, you just get to feeling bad for him if you like him. So I rather not fight somebody I like.
What about Tommy Britton?
I didn't know Tommy. You know, he called me out while I was locked up, so I was just waiting to come home and get back. Like, I didn't know Tommy. Now that I'm home and I fought him, I know Tommy. He good people. I like him, but I didn't know him then.
Okay, well, that's good. I was wondering because, I mean, he kind of travels the same circles and, with the Rage in the Cage and fought on a lot of our events, but I think a lot of that may have been when you were gone. So you guys kind of missed each other.
Yeah, it's a whole new wave of fighters now. Like, I don't recognize none of these guys. It's just a lot of new people.
I'm telling you, and for me as well, and I've worked with Rage in the Cage, but like I said, I started out with Rage in the Cage in 2011, and the fighters that we have now are it's a whole nother world and great fighters. But you guys laid the foundation in ways that, the fighters of this day, I mean, I really think they hopefully can be thankful to you guys because you had to go pro quickly because there was not really a lot of amateur opportunities back then.
Stayed a lot. My amateur career, most of my fights were in Louisiana. It was stretched out. Like, I didn't really get to fight in Oklahoma a lot.
Where you were basically set up to fail a lot in your amateur career. They thought. Didn't go that way, but I'm saying that's how it was for a lot of fighters.
You got to stay like that. Yeah, nobody wants to see you come in and beat their hometown guy. So, yeah, you're basically through to the wolves, if that's what you want to call it. You just got to be ready. It's just an opportunity. You got to.
And it made you stronger.
Yeah, I'd rather fight in a hostile environment than around my friends because you don't have nobody to let down. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you now. You usually have a pretty good crowd that follows you. Is it easier for you? Do you feel like you fight harder for them?
I black it out. Like, it ain't really got nothing to do with them. Like, you don't want to let nobody down, but I black it out.
Well, because you got to get in that cage and you got to do business no matter where you are. So it makes sense. So you're training here at Python with Diego Pichilingüe, Stephanie, JC Cottrell, I'm assuming trains here as well with you guys some. So you've got some great fighters behind you. How long have you been training here now?
Since they opened.
Okay. So, and I can tell from your post that you really are feeling at home here.
Yeah. It's a good environment, man. Anybody that needs a home gym, it's a legit place, man. Like, nobody in here, well, they all gonna kick your butt, but they ain't like kicking your butt and wanting to, like, happy they do it. They teaching you as you go. Like, they want you to be the best version of you that you can be. You know what I mean? And I've never had that nowhere.
I'm so blessed that you found that. What brought you here? How did you find this?
Diego is my guy. Keep looking, man. You can't get discouraged. Like, everything ain't for everybody. But yeah, I definitely love this gym. It's one of the best gym I've been in for sure.
Any last words before we wrap it up?
No, not really.
I know it's hard because I put you in the hot seat sometimes. Thank you, Lamont. You guys support this guy, support mixed martial arts. I know you've got tickets, you always have them. Don't wait till the last week. Actually, you don't want to wait till the last week this time because
Might pack out and y'all can't get in the building.
exactly, tickets are going like, I mean, I was so surprised. I talked to Summer and I think we're pretty much sold out of VIP tables except for the ones that fighters have in hand. He's going to be doing all the work. All you have to do is show up to Rage in the Cage 92 Saturday, March 4th at the Oklahoma City Farmers Market. Get tickets from Lamont, any other fighter on the card, or of course, stubwire.com. We'll see you then.